contrived oil shortage and hoax. Tell us a little bit about that. What's going on with this oil? Is there enough, or somebody closing off the tap?
Well, first of all, the planet is awash in oil. There's oil everywhere. There's enough oil off the coast of the United States and places like North and South Dakota. We have enough oil for 10,000 years in the United States. You'll recall, in fact, I have an article here, right here in my files. I could get it out here, but let me just mention it to you.
Okay.
About 8 years ago, I have an article here that talks about the oil shale and oil sands in Colorado, Utah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it says that if at that time, I think the price for a barrel of oil was about $30 a barrel. Mm-hmm. And this article says that there's so much oil that it would be enough to last us thousands of years, but it's in shale and sand, and it's difficult to get at. But if the price of oil ever went to over $50 a barrel, it would be economically feasible to get this oil, and America would never have a problem again. Hey, now, how much is the price of a barrel of oil?
100 something.
I think it's $127 or so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, whatever happened to all the oil, the shale oil and the sands oil?
Right.
The British Petroleum and Shale found 2 oil fields over the last few years in the Gulf of Mexico. One is called the Thunder Horse. The other is called the Jack Oil Discovery. You can read about those on Google. They found enough oil there to take care of America's energy needs for the next 1,000 years in the Gulf of Mexico. Off of Brazil this last year, Petroleum Brazil, Petrobras, found an oil discovery there in remember now, this is the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Brazil in South America. That makes Brazil have the second largest deposit of oil in the known oil in the world. Brazil. Not Venezuela, but Brazil. In fact, they found so much oil there, they say they have more oil than the entire United States of America. In Brazil that they have found. In the so-called Bakken Formation of North and South Dakota, they recently found oil there that will take care of America's needs for thousands of years. And we haven't even talked about off the Pacific coast, the Atlantic coast, and up in the Arctic, the North Slope of Alaska. There's all kind of oil. So what's going on? Well, let's just face facts. The more scarce a resource is, the higher the price will be.
Of course.
So if you're the oil corporations, what would you like to have? Scarce oil. If you're the agribusiness group, what do you want to have? Scarce food. If you have spent the last 20 years buying up all the underground water reservoirs in North America as the Illuminati chieftains have, what do you want? Scarce water. And that's what's going to be next. We're going to have water scarcities across America. You'll be reading gigantic stories. They're already there. U.S. News and World Report, Newsweek, Time. Everybody will be frightened. And the little bottle of water you buy that's $1 now at the 7-Eleven convenience store, it'll be $5 or $6. Mark my word. Within a few years, you'll be paying $5 or $6 for a bottle of water. It doesn't mean we have a shortage. We have plenty. These are hoaxes, absolute hoaxes. Listen to me very carefully. There's a reason why no new gasoline refineries have been built in the United States since the 70s. Some people would say, well, the problem is the environmentalist organizations have not allowed us to build gasoline refineries. Okay?
Right.
Here's the situation, though. Who do you think set up the environmental groups? Was it the unwashed hippies of the world? They're too dumb. They're too stupid. They're too unorganized. They're too drug-hazed to do that. No. It was the oil corporations, Exxon, Mobil, Shell, British Petroleum. They founded the environmental groups. They control them. They lobby so that the oil companies cannot go out and explore for more oil. The oil companies don't want to explore for more oil. They've already found all the oil they can use for hundreds of years. This is the reason they had the communists cut off the Baku oil fields, and they're only opening them up now. So we're awash in oil. We're awash in water. We're a globe, we're a world of plenty, but the Illuminati is cutting it off to drive us all into desperation and misery, so we will look to them for solutions, and there will be a controlled environment for everybody. They're psychologically making war on the people of the United States and the world.
And there it is.
By the way, on the food thing, there is a reason why suddenly there's all this food and then suddenly there's no food. Why the price of rice went up 67% in 6 months. Here's the deal. First they set up the infrastructure. Over in Rome, Italy, there's a gigantic new building. This building is so gigantic, it looks like it's the size of the Pentagon. Would you like to know what it is? It's called the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. It's the World Food Authority.
Wow.
In Rome, Italy. I have a picture of it. It's going to be in my next newsletter. They have thousands of bureaucrats working there. Now, one of the directors there, Maria Bertini, and I reported this in my book, Days of Hunger, Days of Chaos, by the way, that I think people couldn't believe it. So, that particular book didn't do as well as some of my other books because people said, oh, this can't be true. Miss Bertini, who was the head of the United Nations World Food Organization, and most people don't even know such an organization exists, said this. She says, food is power. Of course.
It's a weapon.
If people don't have food, they don't worry about liberty or the Constitution or their civil rights. They just want to eat. So, and this creates a mental attitude of desperation by people.
Right.
To think we may not be able to eat. We may not be able to have shelter. We may not be able to drive our cars and get around. And it causes a great fear. So all of these are contrived hoaxes, just as global warming is a contrived hoax. And you know that all of the environmental organizations, just like a tap was turned on, they were all told, don't talk about global warming anymore, call it climate change. And the reason why is because all of the scientists now have discovered, or not all of them, but many of them, and the 4 major scientific climate reporting stations in the world, including the Hadley Center and NASA, now report we're going into the age of global cooling.
Right.
Now, this is a way to scramble people's psychology and mind.
It sure does, yep.
Now, see, before it was global warming.
Right.
Now it's global cooling. So they don't want to tell you global cooling because it would make everybody mad. Because everybody would say, wait, you told us it was global warming. So Big Brother says, wait, let's use a new term. Because remember language. Remember in George Orwell's 1984, they used language against the people. So now it's climate change. Believe me, Al Gore will no longer talk about global warming. As dumb as he is, even he will be talking about climate change. Climate change can mean anything. What does it mean? Warming? Cooling? We don't know. But we're just scared of it. And we've got to do what the powers tell us to because the climate is changing. How is it changing? We don't know, but we're scared. It is an amazing hoax, but hey, it's working. Now, we can fight this.
All right.
The way to fight it is to not accept the new reality. We can tell them, we know 9/11 was an inside job.
Right.
They will call you a kook. They'll call you a nut. And just look at them and smile and say, call me all the names you want. You're the nut. 9/11 was an inside job. The same thing with global warming and all these things. Tell them, just tell the government, write letters, tell your congressman, I don't believe there is an age of scarcity. We're a nation of plenty. The world is awash in food. There's so much food we don't even know what to do with it all. You're a bunch of liars.
Wow.
turn back on the tap. Give us our food. And by the